everyone, this will be a quick guide on how to use the new Reforge Stone system. I'm gonna go over how to open the window, add the Reforge Stones, and what's the best sets for each type of content. So, to open the new Reforge Stone UI, you want to go to the new menu. You'll find it on the Character tab, but you can also just search on top for the word Reforge. You'll see your 3 sovereign weapon slots in the window. Below each one, you'll see the words Active and Added. Similar to crystals, you first need to add the Reforge Stones into this window. You'll notice the Reforge Stone critical hit rate is missing. I have it on my inventory. To add it, I need to click the plus button. This will only add it to the pool of the current selected weapon. So, you need to select all 3 weapons and all the critical hit rates Reforge Stone 3 times. After you have the Reforge Stones in the bag, setting them is pretty easy. You select a weapon slot, and then you click the Reforge Stones that you want to put. After that, you need to save. You need to save for each individual weapon slot, not for the whole preset. After you're done setting all 3 weapons, you just click Apply Preset, and the stats will be applied. I would like to add that this new Reforge Stone system was added to the all-in-one preset system, so don't forget to set it up there as well. Now, let's move on to the recommended Reforge Stone sets that you should be running. This will obviously depend on the class that you play. Here, I made a distinction between PvE, PvPDR, PvP Evasion, and PvE Down Attack. The PvE Down Attack is a specific preset for when you grind spots like Tungred Ruins where the mobs actually get put on the ground, which is very rare. For the basic PvE set, you want the following Reforge Stones: 3 AP, 3 back attack, 3 critical hit damage, 3 BSR recovery, and then, if your class has very low critical hit rate on their skills, you want 3 critical hit rate Reforge Stones. If your class has some skills with 50% critical hit rate and no critical hit rate self buff, you want 1 critical hit rate Reforge Stone, and you can fill the other 2 with DR just for the extra tankiness. Finally, if your class has 100% critical hit rate on every skill, you can just run 3 DR Reforge Stones. On the PvE Down Attack set, it's very similar. You run 3 AP, 3 back attack, 3 down attack, 3 BSR, you run the same amount of critical hit rate Reforge Stones that you ran on the normal PvE set, and you swap the DR with the critical hit damage Reforge Stones. This is because critical hit damage has lower value than back attack, down attack, and arguably, for me, Black Spirit Rage Recovery. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about Reforge Stones for the PvP sets. Your Reforge Stone build will very much depend not only on the class you play, but the playstyle you enjoy. I'm first gonna start with mandatory slots. For the DR build, you have AP and DR as mandatory. The other 3 are flex slots. For the Evasion build, you have AP, DR, and Evasion as mandatory slots, with the other 2 being flex slots. Now, how do you pick these flex slots? This will depend on the class that you play. I'm gonna give some examples. As a Succession Corsair, I like to have Black Spirit Rage Recovery on my set. I also don't get CCs often. Therefore, if I'm on my DR build, I'm gonna pick back attack damage and critical hit damage, as those are type of attacks that I'm gonna get while SA trading. On Evasion, I have 1 less flex slot, so I would not put the critical hit damage on and would only use the back attack one. I'm gonna give another example on Awakening Corsair. Awakening Corsair is a class that has low crit rate on the skills and their summons. Therefore, you would have to use one of the flex slots for the critical hit rate Reforge Stone. Some Awakening Corsairs will probably use their second flex slot for BSR recovery as well, because their ult is just as useful as Succession. One last example would be Succession Sword. This class is all about burst and damage. Therefore, as their flex slots, they will probably go for air attack damage, critical hit damage, and down attack damage. Obviously, this will depend on each players. Some will probably still want to run BSR recovery, as the extra AP from the Z buff is very important as well. And that's it for the guide. I hope to help you set up your Reforge stones and understand the new UI.